Greetings, Soulswind here, and welcome to Let's Play Infinifactory. We're on resource site 338.11, and this puzzle is called Terrestrial Surveyor. Now we're gonna fall all the way down. Just kidding. Right, you can see how big this solution is. Story elements. This is what we need to submit. Looks like a face, huh? So is this the front or is this the front? Can't tell, right? Can't really tell. Well, I guess this might be the front, given that there's this thing. Or could this be the front? Depends, who knows? Well, anyways, regardless, there's probably bound to be some rotation, as you can see here. There's rotation necessary. So we're gonna talk about these first. So these three are being welded at the bottom. So when it drops, it causes the blocker to retract, and once it leaves the sensor, it deactivates the sensor and the blocker extends again. So it stays because it needs to wait for this to drop. That's when the blocker retracts and stays enough to allow this entire thing to leave, and it happens that as soon as it's possible. So it clears the whole place after the welding, the top bottom welding, clears enough space for the blocker to extend again and pushes it out. So already I think this thing is not necessary here, but it's okay anyway. It's being raised upwards by the lifter to here and gets rotated. So what happens is that it's raised by the lifter and triggers this sensor, gets pushed outwards by the pusher, and just gets rotated as soon as the pusher retracts. So once the pusher retracts, there's enough space, enough clearance, the rotator rotates this thing. Once it's rotated, it gets in touch with this conveyor belt, therefore it moves forward and stays around here while the blocker is blocking it. It stays there. Meanwhile, the next block pushes this away because what happens is that there's a need for some waiting, so it waits here. So only then, after this one arrives here, is it time for this to be moving along to weld over here by these two welders. So now the central part of the surveyor is complete, and the pusher, the blocker, actually retracts upon this one reaching and getting welded. So it gets to come out, but once it comes out, it leaves this sensor, and the pusher or the blocker extends again, and therefore it dislodges this by one block. But it's okay, doesn't really matter. Gets lifted by the lifter, and when it triggers this sensor, once it reaches the top, the pusher pushes it out onto the conveyor belt where it's moved along to here, falls in place to here, so that it's welded to these two tank tracks. And then because it falls to the middle, you see the two tank tracks right here, and there's no movement until the central piece drops down here. That's when it gets in touch with the conveyor belt, moves along enough for this one to get in touch with this one to get in touch with this. Doesn't matter which one, but as long as it's in touch with the conveyor belts, it moves further out until it touches this one, gets moved here, and then gets shifted along, raised by the lifter again to be submitted over here. Once it hits the top, the sensor causes this pusher to move it forwards into there. and get submitted. Very complex, isn't it? Now, this is really straightforward, just well, 2 of the tank tracks or 3 of the tank tracks together. Okay, once it's done, it gets rotated, moves along, and let's see. Okay, like that. This triggers the sensor to move this one along to here, so that there are 2 sets of tank tracks available, like that. And this is still Infinifactory because there's no overflow or anything. It's always these 2 here waiting for the central piece to arrive, like that. You can see that there is no overflow at all. It stays okay, waiting for the central piece to arrive. Of course, there are many other ways to improve this, but I really like this implementation, so I'll not be making any changes to it to improve it too much. Right, the block score is 143, the footprint score is quite bad. Actually, all of them are below average except for cycle, which is also somewhat below average. Well, then again, we need to do something at least, right? Or should I just try to have a different solution? So basically just work out a new solution to this entire puzzle. It gets harder and harder to work out new solutions though. But maybe I may not need to rotate this thing right over here immediately. We can have just one full rotation after everything has been attached, right? Yeah. So I'm not gonna make any changes to this one right now. Of course, if I want to, I can. I'm contradicting myself. Basically, like that, for example. Like that. So already, that's some bit of improvements. Or... yeah, I think this is good enough. Like that. And, this is okay. There's nothing to change. There's no need for that, actually. Yeah, that entire thing can be removed. Let's see. Oh. Oh! Okay. Sure. Yeah, okay, cool. So then, as long as there's enough over there to move it to the end, that's good enough. Next, these are fine. Can definitely reduce through here. Oops. Like that. Actually, the whole thing can be here. Like that. So that reduces some footprint. Reduce it by 1 block? Yeah. What else? This one cannot be reduced, I think. Or can it? Let's see. Yeah, seems okay. I remember there's something else. Ah, this one. Yes. Yep, just like that. Just like that. So these are fine. These are not gonna add anything. Ooh. These are okay. If I stretch them in, they're gonna be 2 blocks extra. So I add 2 blocks. Oops. Okay, and then I remove 3. So that's 3 blocks in saving for the footprint to add 2 blocks there. I don't even know what are these for. Yep, seems okay. What else? Funny, isn't it? This is being held in place. This is held in place by the lifter, otherwise it would drop. But I'm gonna just attach it, why not? So this is all the improvements I can make to this thing. And now let's see. Still works properly. Slight improvements there, and cycle score improved by a little bit. And oh wait, no, cycle score actually deteriorated to 241. Oops, it didn't improve. It dropped. Well, anyway, footprint score improved to 212, block score improved to 139. But I'm thinking that I can make a better solution, so I'll meet you back here in a while. So this is an empty start, and we need to prevent rotating the thing too many times, and we need to rotate this once clockwise. So probably what has to be done is that I need to have something here. Oops. Possibly... no, not like that, like that. So it has to be something like this. And this is the part where it has to stay. Basically, these are supposed to be the conveyor belt. So this is where it is. So it drops down there. Meanwhile, these things come over here to fall in place like that. And I need one extra input rate so that these come out fast enough. So that's max, so I think +1 would be good. Because otherwise there might be some problems. Hang on. Okay, too soon. So max. Still not good. Let's see. Too soon. Too soon. Not good. Now let's rotate it. Like that. Still too soon. Oh. Okay, now that's good enough. Okay, like this. So this is when it comes in here, calls for something to extend to weld these things together. So I have this welder over here, I have this welder over here, I have this welder that's over here. Okay, and it's being operated by a pusher that only comes in when it's being triggered by a sensor over here. Oops. Okay. Like that. So it welds these things together. No, not these two. Definitely it's separate. I needed to weld two things together. Basically, let's see. Like that. So, like that. It's still a bit too fast. Yeah, that thing comes out too fast. So let's reduce it by 1. Okay, so this whole thing is being welded like that. And let's see. We should have something here that is being blocked by a blocker. Like this. Hang on, how do I... Okay, so when it's there, it's going to cause this to activate, which then activates this one. Yep, that's it. That's it. There we have it. That's all there is to it. That one, right there. That's all. That's all there is. So, yeah, that's done. Much easier than that huge mess right there, isn't it? Previous solution. Like that. So, it goes out here. Needs a rotation. So, clockwise rotation. Like that. That's it. That's all. That's all there is to it. Right? And gets moved along to here. Optimal already, right? No other improvements here. Rotated along to here. Okay. So this one comes all the way out here and goes there. We'll see. Probably I can use this one. So it travels like this. It takes up quite a bit of yeah, maybe it shouldn't get rotated there because that's quite a bit of a waste. Yeah. It only gets rotated about here. Okay? Only gets rotated about here. So that saves some footprints. Oops. Let's see. Yeah. Like that. That's it. Or actually, never mind. So be it. So be it. Who cares, right? Who cares? Like that, right? Yeah. Who cares? So, what next? I need to have everything flow inwards to rotate, to weld together. And apparently it cannot be properly welded from the front, so I think it has to be welded like this. From the back, maybe. Let's see. So it comes out. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna rotate it. Why should I rotate it now? Huh, interesting. Look. Look. Okay. Comes out to here. Stops in here. Just nice. Not really good, huh? The height of this is a problem. Sure. You know what? Let's see. There's a welder. Here. Here. Oops. Like that. So there's supposed to be a welder like this. And this has to come over here. And rise up and get welded. Like this. Yeah, look. Okay. So it gets pushed along. And when it reaches this part, the welder pushes, the lifter pushes it up. And it gets welded. And also I need a copy of this over here. Oh, hang on. Let's have the welder this way. Yeah? Oh, wait, no. Cannot be. Cannot be. Because why? Because if it's that way, there's a problem. If that way, there's a problem. Because the lifters will only lift one instead of all three. Oh, wait. Maybe, just maybe. Maybe. 3 lifters. Yeah. Why? It's gonna be pushed along and pushed along. Oops. Haha, look at that. Funny. Sure. Support that together. Let's see now. Look. Yeah, like that. Like that. So, this is the same. Do the same here. 3 more blocks. Oops, what? Like that. Okay. And whenever it reaches here, right, it causes one of the sensors to push that one. Like that. So it pushes that one over there. Okay? Like that. Oops. There's an overflow. There's an overflow. Not good. So basically, I decided that it's gonna be different. Unfortunately, it has to be different. So it will still be welded over here. Like that. And probably attached by something. So these are no longer necessary. Okay, goes there. And of course, this is no longer necessary as well. Haha! And it moves, right, of course. Why not? Like that. Oh, still not enough. Sure. Like that. Yeah, it goes there. And this one goes along to here. So it gets blocked up there. And just stays here. Or, you know what? Gets raised up by 1. That's it. And is being blocked by these. Yeah. So now, there's going to be a sensor and a pusher. Like, the pusher is gonna be here. Okay. That pushes it out. And the pusher is gonna be activated by the sensor. Just need to find out when to activate the sensor, that's all. So it's there, over here. So that's when this thing arrives at the top, okay? That's when this thing arrives at the top. Okay. So that is going to activate a sensor. Like here. They're just gonna waste a bit so that there's no... Oh, never mind. It's gonna be more savings than wastes. Like that. Yeah, look. That's it. And this one will be put here. So that it goes up to the top. Once it reaches that, it comes in contact and it goes to the top, right? Correct? So you see that? Okay, that's it. And can be blocked by this. When it comes in here, gets welded, and this needs a sensor right on top. Okay, like that. That will then cause a pusher to push here. Like that. Like that. Okay. Push it, please. Excuse me, push it. Thank you. Can you not push it? Nothing? Nothing? Really? Because of the welder? It's not being pushed? Oh. 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 Yeah. Oh, because of the central thing. Right. It's okay. Yeah. It's fine, like that. Yeah, gets moved along. Like that. Moved along like this. And that's it, and it can be submitted. That's it. Go in for the submission. Rotate, of course. Needs some rotation, of course. Rotation, rotation, rotation. Clockwise. Oops. Okay, here. Yep, that's it. That's it. We need to submit a few, just to be sure. Uh-oh, not good. Oh, why did it go all the way in there? Okay, never mind, like that. Aha, that's it. Now, what we need to do next would be to put in the welder here. Okay, because why? Because if I have the welder over here instead of there, I'm gonna save space like that. These are not needed anymore. Look, it's the same thing, but I'm gonna save a lot of space now. And I need to save some space here too. Wait, hang on, can I save some space? Yeah, I can. Maybe here. Yep, that's it. How about here? Here. How about here? That's it. So, you saw how everything works. That's it, I'm just gonna leave it here and let you observe it. Look at the improvement right now. So now the front part gets resolved easily. Travel server to the central region, where everything is assembled also quickly and easily. And the rotation happens right at the very end. Just like that. Look. It's gonna give us much better scores, definitely. Footprint, blocks, and cycles, I believe. That's it, look. Now we've got 149 cycle instead of 234. We're so much above average right now. It's an improvement of 90 or 80 plus. Footprint, an improvement of 100 or 93. Block score, an improvement of about 67. Look at this. So much better. Now we're very far above average for block score, footprint score, and cycle score. Okay? Not the best, but definitely a lot of improvements there. So let me know if you can still improve upon this one, because you can see that the score is so much better. Definitely. Okay? The score is so much better. The top score is so much better. So there's definitely room for improvement. Can you let me know if this can still be improved? Otherwise, we're gonna stare out into space once again. I hope you enjoyed this episode. That's all I have for now. Have a nice day.